Would you rather have $10 million in the bank today, or be 20 years old again with nothing but the clothes on your back? Almost every billionaire on earth would trade their entire net worth for that youth in a heartbeat. Why? Because they know something we often forget: money is the cheapest form of wealth. Welcome back. Today we are diving deep into a book that fundamentally redefines what it means to live a rich life. I'm talking about The 5 Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. Sahil is a former investment banker turned creator and entrepreneur who realized that the world's most successful people, the ones with the private jets and the 9-figure portfolios, were often the most miserable, lonely, and physically broken people he knew. By the end of this summary, you aren't just going to have a new way to look at your bank account, you're going to have a roadmap for a life that actually feels good to live. This isn't just about getting rich, it's about being wealthy in every sense of the word. Part 1, Financial Wealth, the Money Pillar. When we hear the word wealth, our brains immediately go to dollar signs. Sahil doesn't tell you that money doesn't matter. That would be a lie. Money is the tool that buys you the most precious resource of all, freedom. The trap of more. The biggest lesson in this section is the concept of the moving goalpost. Sahil shares a story about his time on Wall Street. He saw guys making $5 million a year who were miserable because their neighbor made $10 million. In their heads, they were poor. To build true financial wealth, you have to define what enough looks like. If you don't, you'll spend your entire life on a hedonic treadmill, running faster and faster just to stay in the same place emotionally. Sahil suggests we stop looking at money as a way to buy stuff and start looking at it as a way to buy options. The lesson: calculate your burn rate, what it costs to live your basic, happy life. The goal: build a freedom fund that covers that cost. Once your passive income or savings can cover your basic needs, you are technically a free human being. You no longer have to say yes to a boss you hate or a project that drains your soul. Financial wealth isn't about the big score or the crypto moonshine. It's about the magic of compounding. Imagine two friends. Alex starts investing $500 a month at age 20. Sam starts at age 30. Even if Sam invests more money later, he can almost never catch up to Alex. Why? Because time does the heavy lifting, not the effort. But here is the catch: you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have the hours in the day to enjoy it, your bank balance is just a high score in a game you're losing. That brings us to the most finite resource we have. Part 2, Time Wealth, the Freedom Pillar. If financial wealth is about the amount of money you have, time wealth is about the autonomy over your schedule. Sahil introduces a mind-blowing perspective: 1,000,000 seconds is about 11 days. 1,000,000,000 seconds is about 31 years. Most of us are time billionaires in our youth, yet we trade those billions for thousands of dollars. We treat time like it's infinite and money like it's scarce, when in reality, it's the exact opposite. You can always make another dollar, but you can never reclaim a single second. Think of your time like a bank account that gets a daily deposit of 86,400 seconds. At the end of the day, the balance hits zero. You can't carry it over. The lesson: start saying no to the mid-tier opportunities. Sahil talks about the hell yeah or no rule. If an invitation or a task doesn't make you say hell yeah, it should be a no. Why? Because every yes to something you don't care about is a no to your family, your health, or your passions. Sahil shares a touching thought experiment. Imagine you are 90 years old, sitting in a rocking chair, wishing you could have one more day of being young and healthy. Suddenly, poof, you are back in your current body today. What would you do differently? You probably wouldn't spend 4 hours scrolling through social media or stressing about an email. You'd go for a walk, hug your kids, and breathe the air. That is time wealth. Now, having all the time in the world is a blessing, but if your body is failing you and you lack the energy to get out of bed, that time becomes a burden. Part 3, Physical Wealth, the Health Pillar. Sahil is very blunt here. Health is a crown that the healthy wear, but only the sick can see. Physical wealth is the multiplier for every other type of wealth. If your health is a 0, it doesn't matter if your financial wealth is a 10, the result is still 0. We often sacrifice our health to gain wealth, only to spend all our wealth later in life trying to buy back our health. It's a tragic trade. Sahil advocates for a physical wealth routine that isn't about looking like a bodybuilder, but about functional longevity. Movement, at least 30 minutes a day, sleep. This is the ultimate performance-enhancing drug. Sunlight, getting light in your eyes early in the morning regulates everything. Think about a car. If you never change the oil or rotate the tires, it eventually breaks down. You can buy a new car, but you only get one body. Sahil emphasizes that small wins, like taking the stairs or drinking more water, compound just like money does. 10 years of bad habits creates a health debt that eventually comes due with interest. While a healthy body carries you through the world, it's the people you walk alongside who make the journey worth it. Part 4, Mental Wealth, the Peace Pillar. Mental wealth is the hardest to measure but perhaps the most important. It is the ability to be alone with your thoughts and not feel like you're in a room with an enemy. In our modern world, we are constantly bombarded with input. Notifications, news, outrage, comparisons. Sahil argues that mental wealth is found in high-quality output and low-quality input. The lesson: practice digital minimalism. Turn off your notifications. Don't check your phone for the first hour of the day. If you start your morning reacting to the world's problems, you've already lost your mental wealth for the day. We are obsessed with doing, but mental wealth is about being. Sahil shares a story of being physically present but mentally absent at dinner with his wife because he was thinking about work. He realized that if his mind is in the future, anxiety, or the past, regret, he is currently poor. Wealth is the ability to look at a sunset or play with your dog and actually be there. You don't need an opinion on everything. You don't need to know what a celebrity said yesterday. By narrowing your focus to what you can control, you preserve your mental capital for things that actually move the needle in your life. Once your mind and body are right, you start to realize that the highest form of human experience isn't found in isolation, but in the strength of your bonds with others. Part 5, Social Wealth, the Connection Pillar. Sahil defines social wealth not by how many followers you have, but by the quality of your inner circle. As we get older, our social circles naturally shrink. Sahil notes that many successful people reach the top of the mountain only to realize they are completely alone. Social wealth requires intentionality. You have to water the garden of your relationships. The 3-to-2-to-1 rule for relationships. To build social wealth, Sahil suggests 3 deep connections, people you can call at 3 a.m. in a crisis. 2 mentors, people who have been where you want to go. 1 protege, someone you are helping pull up the ladder. This creates a balance of support, guidance, and purpose. Once a week, call a friend or family member just to say, "I was thinking about you." No business, no favors, no catching up on logistics. Just connection. This builds a social safety net that is more valuable than any insurance policy. When life gets hard, and it will, your social wealth is what keeps you afloat. Finally, we come to the part that ties it all together. It's the why behind the how. Part 6, Spiritual Wealth, the Purpose Pillar. Spiritual wealth isn't necessarily about religion, though it can be. It's about perspective and contribution. It's the feeling that you are part of something bigger than yourself. Sahil explains that much of our pursuit of money is driven by ego, the desire to be seen, to be important, to win. But spiritual wealth is driven by the soul, the desire to help, to create, and to leave the world slightly better than you found it. He touches on the Japanese concept of ikigai. What you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, what you can be paid for. Spiritual wealth is found at the intersection of these 4 circles. When you find work that feels like play but serves others, you've hit the jackpot. And the fastest way to feel wealthy right now is gratitude. Sahil suggests a simple exercise: write down 3 things you are grateful for every morning. It sounds cliché, but it scientifically rewires your brain to look for wealth instead of lack. When you realize that you already have things that a person 100 years ago would consider miracles, hot running water, the internet, medicine, your spiritual wealth skyrockets. Sahil Bloom's The 5 Types of Wealth is a wake-up call. If you have $100 million but no friends, a broken body, and a mind filled with anxiety, you aren't wealthy, you're just a person with a lot of money. The goal is to build a life where you have enough money, abundant time, vibrant health, peaceful minds, deep connections, and a clear purpose. I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 types of wealth do you feel strongest in right now, and which one needs the most work? Let's talk about it in the comments. This is what we do here at the BloomShelf Hub. We break down the world's most impactful books so you can implement these lessons and build a life you're proud of. If you found this summary helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow, and subscribe to join our community of lifelong learners. Stay tuned for our next deep dive. Until then, go out and start building real wealth.